Are we bad people, Beadle?
No, are we bad people? I'm one of the best people I know.
Russell Wilson corny.
Oh, you're going to love it.
The Russell Wilson-Sierra relationship deserves a 30 for 30. Do you want to talk about your boy Wemby in his rookie year, or do you want to keep making fun of the Bulls? He's giving auntie. He's
to the point where I'm not even sure that's Scottie Pippen.
Because it's true. Pip has got a lot to say.
Explain this to me. Do I not know how they test pants?
Franks and beans. Franks and beans. Franks and beans.
He's a giant. He's 12 years old. All right, 21, 22.
It would be like having a friend who once a week gets into a fist fight on the street. You'd be like, hey, dude, this is not good for your health.
What do you call it? Insurrection?
I call it Jan 6.
Look, is it Italian? Of course not. But doesn't mean it's not good.
Oh, really? I love the Roni. Big Roni guy.
We didn't start this fire.
Harry Truman, Bronny James.
I lost my mind when Sting came out.
It's my favorite episode so far.
From Wondery, I'm Michelle Beadle.
And I am Peter Rosenberg.
And this is Over the Top. Here is how this show works. Best stories of the week in sports and pop culture. We face them off to crown a champion, and we'll answer a simple question. What is the undisputed most important thing on planet Earth this week? We're going to decide it the only way we know how, using Royal Rumble rules. We start with 2 stories. We decide which one's more worthy to discuss and which one has to go. After 90 seconds, a new one will be introduced, and we'll have to decide whether we want to keep talking about our current story or switch to the new one. We don't know the order of stories coming our way, but we do decide which ones get thrown over the top rope. Pizza, first up.
Okay. First topics of the day. First of all, it's NFL Combine Week. Yay. You can feel the excitement, but before we get to my big report on wingspans and shuttle times, the biggest story out of Indy is the lack of participation. Not just by the top prospects like Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, etc., who won't throw, but 6 head coaches have chosen not to attend, including the Jets' Robert Saleh. Yeah, he doesn't need to attend. They've got it all figured out.
All good.
That will be up against, here come the Golden State Warriors. Since the controversial benching of Klay Thompson, they're now one of the hotter teams in all of the NBA. Do you want to talk about the repugnant NFL Combine, which I think should be banned, or the surging Warriors?
Oh, you don't like the optics of young men in underwear running while old men hold clipboards and judge them? Weird, Peter. Weird. Are you even American?
I know. It's weird, but can you make it... Let's make it more uncomfortable and make most of the old men white and make most of the young men black. So it just feels incredibly, incredibly disturbing. And it's like everybody's thinking about it, but they just do it because we have to know if a guy's hand is big enough to hold a football.
Is it bigger than my head? You could do that in a Zoom, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we're friends, Peter. I hate the Combine. I've never liked it. It's stupid and a waste of time. Get it out of here.
Over the top you go. I will say one thing, though. If you are forced to be in Indy because you're like an agent or a broadcaster, go have a delightful steak and shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's Steakhouse. You'll thank me later.
The cocktail sauce. It's all about the cocktail sauce.
Oh, I ordered some on Amazon. I have a bottle in the fridge right now.
I just got distracted by that. I'm like, and I'm on the internet. Okay.
No, you need to do that. But let's talk Warriors for a second.
Yes, please.
Clay seems to have embraced the new role. I know that it had been a little bit weird for him. He was not thrilled about becoming the old guy, especially when Steph's still playing like the young guy.
Fair.
But then in his first game off the bench, he scores like 35 points, and this team's starting to gel. They'll come here and get a win over the beat-up Knicks this week. So are you feeling good at all about the Warriors?
First of all, it's not just guarantee that they're going to beat up the Knicks, but they are getting Chris Paul back, which is a big deal, especially if this Klay Thompson off the bench thing is going to stick. I think that definitely makes that second unit better. Look, Steph told us himself, he considers himself still very much in his prime. He is fatigued, his coach's words, not mine. And so I'll be curious to see. Would I want to face him in the first round? Abso-freaking-lutely not. And especially if I'm one of these young guns, these Minnesota Timberwolves or these Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't want to see the Golden State Warriors getting off a bus in my arena. I just think that that's a dream killer waiting to happen. I'm not putting all my money on them, but I'm not betting against them either.
You know what? Beautifully said. Trust me, I watched them beat my Celtics in the finals a couple years ago. I didn't think that was going to happen. It was not fun.
No, they are irritatingly always around, is how I like to put it. All right. Up next, Major League Baseball games officially happening again, but you know this. The only thing any of us are talking about right now are the poorly redesigned uniforms featuring tiny letters and see-through pants, just like my grandpa used to watch. Do we want to continue talking about the Warriors are back, baby, or switch to Frankenbeans? Rosenberg, what do you want?
Franks and beans. Now, I have to watch out here because I've been getting a lot of criticism for how often I've been bringing up the Drake Schlong tape of a couple of weeks ago. And yet here I am.
Here we are.
I'm going to go with the Franks and beans.
Yes. Can't get enough.
We got to talk about these units. I mean, unis. So the Warriors, over the top you go. Now,
wow.
I want to show love to Michael Rubin and Fanatics. We love Michael Rubin. We love what he's doing at Fanatics. But there's something going on here with these jerseys. I honestly don't know what the bigger concern is. Is the bigger concern that you can legitimately see the outline of someone's crank in these pants?
Yep.
Or is it the fact that you might drop like $300 on a, quote, authentic jersey and the letters look like it's like your brother's little jersey that you bought at Marshall's? I don't even know which is a bigger concern because as a jersey nerd, that bothers me.
You know how I feel about Marshall and or TJ Maxx slander. So careful because I bought some treasures at both of those stores.
Sorry.
Secondly, for a man, correct me if I'm wrong, who's become synonymous with throwing a white party every single year. How are you so bad at distributing white pants? Explain this to me. Do I not know how they test pants?
Well, here's something that I'm going to offer. I'm not an expert. I don't know exactly what the manufacturing process is at Fanatics. I am suggesting to you, Beadle, that Michael Rubin himself did not inspect the white pants before they were shipped.
Maybe he should. Because here's what I'm thinking. You put on a pair of white pants, you go out into the sunlight, you look at said white pants. Then you come inside under fluorescent lighting, you look at the white pants. You shine a flashlight on the pants. And then you look and see what you can and cannot see. If you're good, they can hit the stores. If you're not, back to the drawing board. And
Beadle,
these bad boys suck.
Would you like to volunteer to be the person who goes through with the phone and looks at everyone's crotch to see what's...
It is so off. By the way, if this was happening to women in sports, we wouldn't even be laughing. It would just be this like crazy story about this is absolutely inappropriate and wrong. But the fact that I've seen the outline of everybody's bits and we're all laughing about it, amazing.
It's rich. It is rich. Talk about hitting dingers.
Hey-o!
I mean, ding dong, more like it. Okay, let's
two balls.
Let's go to Russell Wilson.
Oh
real
God,
quick.
this is okay.
Yeah. Who, by the way, when he heard about this, he was like, blindfold, not looking at this. The Lord does not want me to see these dudes' crumbs. Russell Wilson has said that he wants to win 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I would like to too, Russ. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs might have something to say about this. Do we want to talk about the visible crumb or do we want to talk about the delusional Russ?
Dude, this is an actual tough topic because one is hilarious and the other is see-through pants. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say goodbye to the see-through pants. We're going to hope...
No, we've done enough.
Yeah, we've done enough. And we hope that it gets fixed before, actual opening day. Over the top you go, pantalones. But, wow, the delusion... Peter, I don't know if you know my feelings on one Russell Wilson. I'm sure he's a lovely gentleman.
Can I just guess real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we've never talked about him,
no.
But I'm going to base this on everything else we've ever discussed. And actually, we may have discussed him, but I don't remember it at this point.
Yeah.
I think that you think he's a tool.
Huge tool. Hugely uncomfortable in his own skin. Adapts his chameleon-like personality to the room that he finds himself in any given moment. Has said and done some of the cringiest, corniest crap I've ever seen in my entire life.
Ayo, Seattle.
And he may not even have a job, bro. Like, at least not in Denver. So we don't know what team he's going to be with and where these 2 Super Bowls are happening. But I'm so, stop. Just stop doing all these interviews. They're uncomfortable to me. Remember when he was like, I knew I had to keep Sierra pure? Ugh. Just Google Russell Wilson corny, and the internet will reward you.
You know what? I know the answer, but just because you said it, Russell Wilson corny.
Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Wow, Russell Wilson being corny for 3 minutes. Most cringe Russell Wilson moments of 2022 so far.
Wow.
How Russell Wilson became one of the corniest athletes. 6 stories that explain Denver Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson.
True that.
No, it's tough.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't normally find myself in the position of doing this.
Oh, God.
I am going to defend
What?
Russell Wilson.
How?
He was actually pretty good last year.
Yeah.
And I was ready. Let me be clear. Russ is legit just the biggest cornball. And for whatever reason, like, sometimes I don't know if we should feel kind of bad for him.
Nope.
Or if his cornballness actually leads to him like being kind of a jerk also. Like, I don't know the answer to that. But I will say that, like, I was completely ready to write off the Broncos team. And I was cracking up because I thought Sean Payton's contract was ridiculous. I was like, this dude has 1 ring. Like, he's not Bill Walsh. What are you doing? So when they started out 0-4, whatever it was bad. I really was laughing.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the year, I was like, I wouldn't really want to play the Denver Broncos right now. Like, this is actually a pretty good team. And if you look at Russell Wilson's stats last year, he ended up pulling together a pretty good season. So I do find it odd that they're considering going a different direction because I don't know where they would go to definitively be better. But at the same time, Russ, you hope to get 2 more Super Bowls, bro?
Stop talking. Just shh.
But I will say, corny as he is, in his moment, man, that dude was a nightmare to play against.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just play football and be great at football. It's the interviews. It's the high-kneeing it on the plane. It's the sideline antics. It's the catchphrases. It's the weird behavior you had the morning after you got married and you were implying to the camera that you had sex. Okay, congrats, I guess, on the sex. It's all the weird stuff.
Listen, I know that we should have went to the next topic.
I know.
5 minutes ago.
We should have.
But just so you know, there have been times in the Royal Rumble when I've been like, wait a second, it's only been 40 seconds. Why is there another wrestler in? Or I've been like, it feels like it's been 4 minutes. So we have some liberties, okay? And I would just like to say, the Russell Wilson-Sierra relationship deserves a 30 for 30.
It will get one. It will get one.
Because Future... Like, I know women in my life who have dated different types, and I'm like, wow,
Absolutely.
You guys just baffle me. But Future to Russell Wilson is the single most stark contrast I think I've ever seen. It's iconic.
It is one of the things that came out of this last interview was he knew he was going to be destined to take care of Sierra's kid with Future, you know, like Joseph did to Jesus.
Wait, that's a direct quote?
That's from the same interview in which we got this last set of words. Up next, the NFL, once again, looking to change kickoffs, this time by adopting, you know, obviously the XFL's rules. It allows only the kicker and the returner to move until the ball is fielded, which would help reduce players from colliding at full speed. Do we continue talking about Russell Wilson and the gifts that keep on giving, or switch to kickoff rule changes?
I do care about rule changes, and it's funny, the XFL, even in the original iteration of the XFL, they always did sort of wacky things with kickoffs and things of that nature. I do care, but I think there's more meat on the Russell Wilson bone.
He doesn't think that, but yes. All right, sorry, XFL rules. Over the top you go. It's crazy because like a guy like Devin Hester, who didn't he just make the Hall of Fame? He wouldn't even
Wait, he didn't get in? Did he get in, or he's on the list?
Oh, he's on the list. That guy's entire career was returns, right?
You know what drives me the most crazy? And our crack producer, Andrew Goldstein, will appreciate this because I'm sure he enjoyed his work in Philadelphia. My friend and a man who I love and admire, the great Brian Mitchell of the Redskin Commanders, never been up for the Hall of Fame, most return yards in history.
Damn.
did it for multiple teams for like 12 years and was a pretty damn good running back. They don't even respect the position enough. It's ridiculous. The whole treatment of the position is absurd. But at this point, it's like a lost part of the game. They do have to do something. Either get rid of it altogether or come up with new rules. But Russell Wilson is just fascinating.
Russell Wilson, who are you?
Who are you, man? And are you a bad guy? Because, like, he doesn't get along. Marshawn Lynch doesn't seem to like him very much. And Marshawn seems like a great guy.
Dude, you had your own office that was immediately taken away from you when Peyton got there. But you had your own office and sort of did your own thing. I just think there's a lesson to be learned here, right? For kids. To find a way to love yourself for all of your flaws and imperfections. Do not worry about your image and do not try to please everybody because that's what happens when you do those things. You get a Russell freaking Wilson. Come on.
We have so many audio clips on the K show that we play of Russell Wilson being every different version of Russell Wilson.
It's unbearable.
Are we bad people, Beadle?
Are they going to last forever, Sierra? No, are we bad people? Oh, I'm one of the best people I know. But Sierra...
That's going to make the supercut. I know it. I know that's going to make the supercut.
But then you have Sierra and Russell Wilson. Are they going to last forever, do you think? Like, are they going to be like 75 and still together?
I do not. But honestly, while I've met Sierra a few times and like talked to her, I don't know what she's honestly. She seems lovely. Beautiful. I don't know what she's like.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I only know her as beautiful.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah.
All right, up next, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley,
bad start.
And Horace Grant, who I affectionately refer to as Hogra, will go on tour together to share their side of The Last Dance. I think we know we've exhausted Russ and Sierra, right?
Yeah, he'll give us more at some point. We'll be back to him at some day. Sure.
So long, Russell. Over the top you go. Let's talk about this. Would you?
Oh no!
That photo.
Can
if
you
you guys are listening,
this image, please?
Okay. Yes, I will. Okay. Luke Longley looks like if the main kid from Stranger Things grew up and got huge and awkward and has a graying beard.
Yeah. And really loves Jurassic Park. Like I could tell he's a fan of that movie franchise.
Horace Grant looks like he lost 4 inches and gained 40 pounds.
Yeah, he doesn't even look like it. All right.
And Scottie Pippen just looks like someone's auntie.
He does look like an auntie.
He's giving auntie. He's
to the point where I'm not even sure that's Scottie Pippen.
But I will say this.
Okay.
I think if like I was just chilling on a Friday night and someone was like, yo, I got tickets to see Luke Longley, Horace Grant, a.k.a. Hogra, and Scottie Pippen, a.k.a. Scopip, all talk about the Bulls team. Yeah. Like, do you want to grab a drink and go I think I'd say yes. I'm down.
So I did research on this, Peter, because it's they did 3 big stops in Australia, Luke Longley's home country. And I looked up ticket prices. They were like $60 American, decent seat. And
not mad.
The way the format was described was, I think it was sort of them telling stories, and then there would be a bit of Q&A, which I would imagine is where the gems happen, right? Because that's so many Qs, so many As. And I don't understand. We get Scottie Pippen's angle, right? We're very aware of Scottie's spirit and vibes where this story is concerned. But what are Hogra and Lulo going to talk about? Are we doing that too? I don't know if we're doing that.
Yeah, no, because it's true. Scopip has got a lot to say. But can I tell you one thing? I've interviewed Hogra.
Okay.
He's got a lot to say.
Damn.
Hogra, let me tell you one thing. First of all, Hogra is down to get into it. Second of all, I remember sort of his tone and approach. I'm actually a little concerned that I've made up this nickname. I'd like to apologize and never say it again. As for Lulo, I have no idea what Lulo's. You know what disappoints me? I wish instead of Lulo, it was Toku.
Toku would be different.
If you were going to take like one of the obligatory token white guys from the Bulls,
sure.
Non-American whites from the Bulls, I'd rather Toku than Lulo.
Well, because you're not going to have Japa, and you're certainly not going to have Stuka. So you're kind of left.
Well, what about Wilper?
Wilper is still working in Chicago for the Bulls, I think. You can't have Wilper.
You can't get Wilper then either. Sure.
Wilper's a hot ticket. So many white guys. Only one was available. We are halfway through the
It's my favorite episode so far.
It's my favorite topic, weirdly. Right now, and hopefully forever, the most important topic of the day is the tour that no one asked for. The Chicago Bulls. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Over the Top. Peter, our next challenger, please.
All right. Tough challenge potentially coming up here for the former Chicago Bulls on tour. Big Wemby watch. Okay, maybe not that hard. We're 50-plus games into the big guy's career, and he is shattering expectations, including logging his first 5x5. What the hell's a 5x5 game?
It is at least 5 in the category. So points, rebounds, blocks, steals. What am I missing?
I don't know. I've never heard of that, though. Anyways, he leads the league in total blocks, and he became the first player to record 75 threes, 150 assists, and 150 blocks in a single season in just 48 games. Again, these are stats I've never heard of, but they are impressive nonetheless.
They are.
Do you want to talk about your boy Wemby in his rookie year, or do you want to keep making fun of the Bulls?
I kind of want to keep making fun of the Bulls only because he's going to get Rookie of the Year. Finally, I'm noticing people are seeing the error of their ways and assuming it was Chet Holmgren. Welcome to the side that was always right. Secondly, congrats on being the first and probably ever only Spur assists. It's the other one's assists. To sign a deal with Louis freaking Vuitton.
Wait. By the way, so that picture on our YouTube version, he's wearing a Louis Vuitton varsity jacket, and I was just like, "Ooh, Wemby, fashionable." But he got an LV deal.
He is an ambassador to the Pharrell Williams Louis Vuitton empire.
Oh, the Pharrell.
Yes.
One.
Well, which is it is LV.
No,
right
it's
now.
this. It is LV. I mean, listen, I don't know whether it's a good idea to put your clothes on a man that tall from a fashion standpoint.
All custom.
But still, you know what? I'm into the kid. I'm excited to see him. That being said, of course you're going to win Rookie of the Year. The team stinks.
Yes.
And we'll see you next year. Yeah. Over the top you go. Be careful. Let's have you finish out the year nice and healthy.
Thank you.
And let's go back to Lulo, Skopip, and Hogra and think about who else they could have added to this tour.
Would he have made a surprise appearance?
But how about this one? And this one, I think, could fit if you could lock him down. Uh-oh. How about D-Rod?
Oh my God. How did we forget Darrow?
Why not? I feel like he doesn't have any, does he have an allegiance to anyone?
I don't, you know what? I'm not even sure he's on a side, to be
Me
quite
neither.
honest.
I don't think he's on a side either.
So he could just sort of show up and be a wild card, and you could ask questions as an audience member, and God only knows what you're going to get. Darrow. I like that one.
That would be fun if Rodman just shows up. I'd pop.
Yeah, that's kind of a big one.
Yeah, Rodzilla just walks in. You kidding me? That would be Mage. Tells us old WCW stories. Who else could we be forgetting that would make sense to be a part of this? BJ Armstrong? No, he's too nice for this group.
Bija. Yeah, Bija.
And he doesn't have a good nickname. That's tough too.
Wait, we're forgetting a really good one. Who are we forgetting?
Bill Wen?
Bilwa is
Bill
just ending in was.
Bilwa would be something.
Craig.
Hodges, Craig
Hodges. Creho.
What about Bicart?
Oh, Bicart. No, he's too distinguished. He doesn't want any part of this.
By the way, you know what? He is distinguished. Good point.
Really is. And by the way, as we keep talking, I'm like, God, everyone still alive? I just want to double check that, fact check it, research.
I think everyone we said was alive.
I think so. I hope so.
Cartwright's alive.
Yeah, he's alive, but I started thinking that. And we don't have a research department, so we're on our own here. Up next. This Sunday, 64-year-old wrestling icon Sting will wrestle his last match at AEW's Revolution event. And I have to put last in quotation marks because I also said wrestling. 64. Do we want to continue talking about the Australian Tour of Fun or switch to Sting? Dear God, sir.
I think we exhausted the Bulls.
We did.
The Shibu tour, and I think we move on to Sting. It's his last match. So long, Bulls. We may never see you again, but we wish you the best, Lulo.
Yes, Lulo. Look great.
Sting,
64,
the icon.
Peter. 64.
You know what? The biggest shock to me is that Sting, I guess it makes sense that he's 64.
Well, because they age. Age does keep going.
Yeah, age does do that, but he just still looks so good. But when you think about the fact, well, it was Ric Flair's birthday this past week.
Okay.
What did Rick turn? Do anyone remember?
What did Rick turn? 70. I want to say 72. Oh, damn.
75. So if Flair turns 75, I guess it makes sense that Sting is 64, but he still looks so damn good. Here's my thing. I'm still really sad about how things ended for him in WWE. He had like 1 second there, then got injured. I wish they would have found a way to keep him around because AEW has made great use of him.
That's weird.
They put him in tag matches. They sort of protect him so he never even seems that old. The guy wears face paint, obviously, so you can't tell that he's that old.
Brilliant move.
Although even without his paint, he still looks pretty good. Okay. But I guess the question is, given that he was basically an entirely non-WWE guy, basically his whole career, where does he rank among the all-time greats?
Was it at MetLife when they brought him out, WrestleMania?
No.
Or was it Dallas?
Dallas.
Okay, because I was at both, and I couldn't remember which one was which. And this is why I'm saying it. Because despite the not having a quote-unquote long-term run in WWE, I lost my mind when Sting came out. And that is all I need to know about where he stands in the landscape of wrestling.
How it felt when you saw him.
I jumped out of my seat and lost my mind.
No, It was really cool. And that's why I was just so sad that it was quick. But I think his last match should have not been a tag match. It should have been him versus Darby Allin, who would have like gone on to be sort of like his protege.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think the disappointment is for me, him having a final one-on-one match with Darby Allin where he passes him sort of the baton. I would have dug that more than this Young Bucks tag match. But he's the icon. He's great. They put him with Ric Flair.
Amazing.
Listen, you guys know I'm a WWE guy through and through, but how do you not care about the farewell to Sting? And I do think at 64, it'll be the go home.
It also tells you what makeup can do. It really is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. I mean, I actually am going to start rocking a full paint deal.
Just rock the foundation all the way
Not all
through.
of us can be Beadle, who just continuously looks the same age no matter what happens.
Obviously.
All right, up next, the gloves are coming off. New York Rangers rookie Matt Rempe has dropped the gloves in 3 of his first 5 NHL games. And in his first 20 minutes of ice time, he's racked up 32 penalty minutes. Do you want to talk Sting or do you want to talk Rempe?
Love you, Sting, and wish you the best and an adieu, if you will. And I hope this is really your last, because at 64, that's when the gardening should be kicking in, not all of this other ridiculousness.
You think Sting's going straight from the ring to becoming a big gardener?
Maybe he's got a killer touch with tomatoes. Who knows?
All right, what do you want to talk about with regards to Rempe? Because this story is quite interesting.
So he is a throwback, and also as if he was concocted in a lab for hockey. He's 6'8.5" or some crazy ass combination.
He's gigantic.
He's a giant. He's 12 years old. All right, 21, 22. Either way, seems like he's 12 years old. I watched his first and I think second games, and he had a fight in both. Might have been his first. He had a goal, accidental, but a goal nonetheless, and it does count. And he looks like he's having more fun out there than any human being should have a right to. I think he's going to be a blast, and I think the Rangers are going to love him for a really long time.
He's going to be incredibly popular.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to have to chill.
With the fights?
Yeah, you just can't.
Fight.
From a health standpoint, like, do you realize that when there's a hockey fight, it is just the equivalent of getting into a real fight?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a match. It's not a wrestling match. It's not an MMA match. It would be like having a friend who once a week gets into a fist fight on the street. You'd be like, hey, dude, this is not good for your health. And also, one thing that's amazing about hockey is they have a part of the game that is acceptable.
I love it.
And you receive penalty minutes. In any other sport, if this were to happen, the police would be called. Actual police would show up and arrest people. And in this sport, you can still just be like, hey, bro, you want to go? I will say this.
I love that.
I think there should be time and place for fighting in hockey. I do think the culture, though, of it still existing, that you can just go up to someone before a game and be
during
like, hey, bro,
warm-ups.
you want to fight tonight?
Yeah.
And then the second the game starts, you just fight?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a party pooper, but
What?
it feels like that should go.
That felt like such an iconic sort of, hey, kid, welcome to the show. moment. Just letting him have his first moment and introducing him to the
Okay, but
world
what
of the
if it
NHL.
keeps happening?
Oh, I mean, it'll eventually die down. Look, the dude is a giant. And I think he's got the newness on him. Kind of like Wemby, right? Like all the vets want a piece of Wemby. They want to dunk on Wemby. They want to just show that like, yeah, cool, welcome. You're going to be a world changer, but you're still just a rookie. And I feel like that's kind of
they're not punching him in the nards.
Well, they would if they could.
I mean, and it would be like a straight punch to the nards because the guy is so tall.
In some cases, like Jose Alvarado, maybe just also a reach up, just a little bit.
Right. Exactly. You're reaching for the nards.
You're up next. This one took me a second because I had no idea what this word was. KFC is rolling out the Chizza. It consists of, oh God, we're fat. 2 fried chicken fillets topped with marinara, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni. Do we want to continue talking about old Mr. Rempe or switch to this concoction over here? The KFC Chizza in the Hizza. Nailed it.
Love the Rempe story, but I think that was a lot of hockey for this show.
It was. Are we experts now? I think we are.
Yeah, I know. Hi. I know everything. Let's toss you over the top safely.
It's Chizza, like pizza. I'm stupid.
By the way, I thought it was Chizza, and then you said Chizza, and then I just started thinking I could just picture our producers giving us bad Wu-Tang jokes.
That's true.
Like, is it the Chizza, the Rizza, or the Jizza? But it's the Chizza. And by the way, it should be Chizza because it's chicken.
And shit.
It should just be called shit.
It just be called shit in a box. Wait, are they a sponsor?
Wait, hold on. Psych, we love, by the way.
We have too many jobs to insult KFC. I'm so sorry.
No, KFC's so good. And, oh wait, hold on. It's chicken as pizza.
So yeah, it's chicken fillet, 2 chicken fillets with the mozzarella, the marinara, and the pepperoni. So it's like a pizza made of chicken underneath, fried chicken underneath, which by the way, all on their own, delicious.
Now, so real quick, you eat this with just a fork and knife now?
If you're fancy, sure.
Well, otherwise you just pick up the chicken.
Did you hear the description of what I described? Do you think we need class? Or can we just eat it like animals?
So you're saying you just shove your face into this whole thing?
Just put it in a wad and shove it in your mouth.
By the way, we're having a show dinner this week. Change of plans. I'd like to have the shit in a box, please.
Can I get some Chizzas, please?
I just want to pick up a piece of chicken and just squeeze it. By the way, this is also something I just read. The only requirement to ordering the cheese is you have to be wearing Zubaz pants. That is the only way you're allowed to eat the Chizza.
You know what? In all fairness, I watch a lot of I watch diners, drive-ins, and drive-through, whatever the hell that shows. I call it diners, diners.
Sure.
Triple D. And they do sometimes go to places where their claim to fame is just this crazy mix of ingredients that you don't think about. This might be delicious, Peter.
Oh, no. I think there's, for the record, it actually sounds, there's nothing about it that sounds gross taste-wise at all.
I don't love pepperoni, but yeah.
Oh, really? I love the Roni.
Yeah.
Big Roni guy.
My least, I don't like, it's not a pizza, I pick it off.
Really? You pick?
It's too overpowering a taste. I'm a simpleton when it comes to pizza.
You pick pepperoni off the pizza?
Yeah. I also don't eat beef or pork anymore, so beef pepperoni I was okay, but yeah, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Interesting.
I know.
Wow, that is an interesting take. Really? Love the pepperoni. How about this? I love pepperoni and pineapple.
You know what? Salt and sweet. I don't know why people are so... Look, is it Italian? Of course not. But doesn't mean it's not good. It's back to the chicken parm argument. Not Italian. Doesn't mean it doesn't taste good.
Chicken parm's not Italian?
No, not at all. It's American.
What about
Italian.
eggplant? What about eggplant parm?
Eggplant parm is Italian.
I love eggplant parm.
Me
my favorite,
too.
my number one Italian. Me and my friend Don LaGreca, a good Italian gentleman.
Great Italian.
We get into big. You just went great Italian. You trust me. I know how much he speaks. I know how much he eats. I know his name is LaGreca, so it has to be good.
It has to be.
We argue because he thinks like eggplant has no use, like it's just a meat replacement, and I love eggplant.
That is
I think
so Don.
Yeah, of course. The most Don thing ever.
First of all, the idea that you have to replace meat as though some people just don't know what to do because there's no meat replacement.
Right, what do you do without meat? All right, ESPN is no longer projecting Bronny James as a one-and-done prospect after falling off the big board. Upon learning the news, LeBron went on Twitter and he ranted about letting the kid be a kid. Do we want to talk about the Chizza or move on to Bron?
Well, this is a Sophie's choice. But because of the self-infliction that is this Bronny story, I believe we have to send the Chizza over the top rope, my friend Peter. And I'm sad because I want to try it.
I know. I'm up for some Chizza, but LeBron 11 months ago, if you remember, tweeted, man, Bronny, definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. And now he's saying, can we just let the kid be a kid? I get it.
We didn't start this fire.
No, but it's still burning since the world's been turning.
He put it out there. First of all, kid never had a
Harry
chance.
Truman, Bronny James.
His name's Bronny. Okay, let's start there. That was going to be a tough hill to climb no matter what this gentleman decides to do with his life. And we still don't know what he will. Then he has the comment about how he's better than dudes that are already playing in the NBA. Then we now know that his quest in life is to be on the same NBA team as his son, which will probably happen not because Bronny will have earned it, but because LeBron will have orchestrated it. I feel bad for this kid. He cannot win no matter what happens. Do I agree with the sentiment of let the dude just be a college kid and play? Sure.
Of course.
Does he have a shot at that? No.
Well, here's the thing, though. With all due respect to LeBron, the things that you've said early on or that people know you feel are exactly what's not allowing him to be a kid.
Correct, sir.
It's this expectation of you guys playing in the league together. He may not make the league. He may not be good enough for the league. He may decide he doesn't want to be in the league.
True.
He may just decide he doesn't feel like being in the shadow of LeBron James and he wants to be a poet instead. I don't know. But either way, yeah, I kind of feel for him too. That is a lot of pressure.
So much pressure. I mean, you got Charlie Woods doing the golf. It's a lot. Like when you pick the path that your once in a generation parent excelled at, it's going to be tough. All right, up next. People are calling for college basketball to ban court storming after Duke star Kyle Filipowski was knocked over trying to get off the court following a loss to Wake Forest and the ensuing court storm by those damn fans. Do we want to continue talking about LeBronny James? Yes, I combined the two. Or switch to the future of court storming as we know it.
Oh, we say goodbye to Bronny James as I've been waiting for this topic all week.
Oh, have you?
Court storming is dumb. And by the way, I don't call it court storming.
What do you call it? Insurrection?
I call it Jan 6. I call it Jan 6. I call it peaceful protest.
Sure.
No, storming the court is dumb. It's gotten really dumb.
It's not great.
20-some years ago, it made sense. If you were like a sort of middle-of-the-pack team and you knocked off the number one team in the country, you rush the floor. Because, oh my God, we were ranked 24 and we knocked off the number one team. Or we weren't even ranked. And oh my God. As the years have gone on, like everything about this world that we live in post-social media, everything is ruined. Everything is T-ball. And now, dude, Wake Forest was favored against Duke.
Thank you.
Like, you shouldn't act like you've been there before, dude.
Bruh.
They're not the greatest team. You didn't beat the running Rebels of 1990. Like, calm down. So, A, I just want to say storming the court is dumb. B, and this is important, Filipowski, he deserved everything he got.
Ooh, there it is. There it is. Duke hate in the house.
He initiated contact. Look at the replay and tell me, A, he stuck his leg out a little bit. B, he threw his elbow. He gave an elbow shiver.
Okay.
Well, hold on, Beadle.
Peter!
How Duke is it? We've seen people rushing the court for a million years. And of course, it just happens to be Duke that's like, it's so dangerous. I got hurt. Every other team has figured out how not to get hurt. Throughout history, we've never seen this. And by the way, don't bring up Caitlin Clark because God bless her. She's going to change the game of basketball. She's amazing. She initiated contact too.
And
how
flopped.
about that?
And also
she flopped as well.
Yeah, she flopped.
So while I think the rushing the court thing is stupid, Beadle, I just think it's so perfect that it was an annoying Duke player who had to cry about it, who, when you look at it in slow motion, initiated the contact himself. Shut up, you big crybaby.
Would we have liked it more had the 7-foot Dookie just gone out there swinging haymakers just making contact left and right. Like basically like some sort of weird conveyor belt of punches as these tiny little students come running by at full speed. Because
at least it would have been honest. At least it would have been honest. But now he's doing this this fake victimhood.
He's crying. And to whoever decided that putting the band of brothers music to the image of Filipowski and the trainer basically crying together.
Oh no.
You deserve any award.
Can you text it to me?
I'll find it because it is, wow, it's a beautiful thing.
Here's the thing about
you. First of all, you're not going to be able to regulate court storming unless you zap them all. Do you want to put an electric fence down? I'll vote yes. But until then, good luck.
Well, I think you could say that, like, if it happens, we're going to investigate it with videotape. And if you're caught, you'll be expelled from school.
Expelled from school?
But you're not going to do that because these people pay to be there. And they pay a lot of money to be there.
Expelled from school. For just being a sports fan. Are you insane, sir?
Well, I'm just trying to, if you wanted to legislate it out, right? You got to come up with something if that's in fact what you want to do.
Well, let's just send them to death. Why don't we just do that? Because you know what? That's as ridiculous as this is. They just stormed a court, Peter.
But hold on. Like I said, I think it's stupid.
Sure.
I don't think it's the end of the world.
I don't either.
And no one else has seemed to get hurt ever in history. No one gets hurt except old little Kai Flip. He can't handle it. It's too much for Kai Flip.
He was scared.
It hurt.
He was scared for his life, Peter.
Why is it always Duke? You know what I hate? I hate how people, when I meet people who don't get Duke hate, it really bothers me.
They just don't know. Not everyone gets to know everything like we do, Peter. We are a special breed.
But it goes back to Leitner. It's always something. It's always crying. And it's this weird mix. Here, hold on. It's coming to me. Here's what it is with Duke.
Yeah, no.
It's the mix of like being It's exactly what happened with Filipowski. Here it is. It's the mix of being a crybaby and also aggressive at the same time.
Grayson
Leitner,
Allen.
Crybaby, aggressive.
Yep.
Grayson Allen,
the
crybaby,
picture.
Aggressive. Kai Flip, crybaby, aggressive. Make up your mind, Dukies.
Can't have it both ways.
And by the way, you know why their fans don't storm the court? Because they literally have the songs and things that they said written down on pieces of paper left on the seat before the game. Do you know that?
What?
Their chants are written down on sheets of paper that are organized and given out. So they're like, let's all make sure we read the same chants, gang.
Ooh, the British soccer fans right now are mocking us. They don't have to write down their chants. They know them when they're born. They're in their hearts.
And they don't just run on the court. They run through the streets and injure people and commit crimes. That's how you do it.
Yeah, hooligan or not. Can't have it halfway.
Oh, I think that's it.
What?
Yeah, we made a decision. That was the most important thing this week.
Kind of was, actually. All kidding aside. So court storming is it?
The picture of
I love it. I hope we talk about it for 6 more weeks.
All right, that is it for the show. Tune in next week to find out what you need to care about and what goes over the top.